Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Fran, I'm from Venezuela, and today we're going to be watching a video called British Things I Had Never Seen Before Moving to the UK. So I'm guessing this is a list of maybe like cliche things that are in the UK and that are very classical from the United Kingdom and you can only find there really, and that you probably don't really see anywhere else in the world. But maybe there's an overlap and maybe there's some things that are typical from other places and not just the UK, and maybe like people think that are from the UK and there's actually like, no, it's actually from other places. But let's check it out and comment, like, subscribe, and start.
Welcome back to the Girl Gone London channel. If you're new here, my name is Kaylin. I'm a dual UK and American citizen, and today I'm sharing some things I had never seen before moving to the UK. To give you some context, I am American. I grew up in America, specifically Florida.
Okay, so
it's entirely possible that some of these things can be seen or enjoyed in other parts of the US, but I managed a whole life there without seeing any of these things, so there will definitely be other Americans like me who are also incredibly unfamiliar with these things. I say this because sometimes I say things and then somebody will comment and they'll be like, well, I live in Philadelphia, and
I
have
everything's going to be from her.
I was prepared to give an example
from there,
of something
but maybe
people
there's
say,
other
but I
places
can't
where it's like
think of a
the most
specific
normal thing in the world.
But basically, these videos are all generalizations based on my experience. So please do comment about your own experiences, but I'm not saying that no American ever has experienced these things. I'm just saying that I haven't. Okay, anyway, on with the video. Number 1. Windows that open with a key.
With an actual
All of the windows
key?
I had growing up opened upwards like this, rather than outwards like the windows I'm used to in the UK.
With like a lever,
and you closed it from the inside with a little like lever.
Yeah.
It's not really a lever. A little mechanism. When I realized that you needed a key to lock and unlock many of the windows we had in the UK,
I'm so confused.
I was
what do you mean a key?
perplexed, to say the least. Because what happens
Do you
if
need
you
an actual
lose the
key, like another key?
What if I needed to get out
actual, like,
during a fire from the
key?
inside and it was locked and I couldn't find the key in a panic? This has not happened to me yet.
But I
I'm sure they're more
like
secure,
3 sets of keys,
but I'm just curious. So I had never seen a key for a window before I moved to the UK.
That's
Next
weird.
up is the
That's
combo washer and
weird.
dryer. Everyone says this about the UK and Europe in general when they move here from North America. Having one machine that is capable of both washing and drying my clothes seemed incredibly confusing. How would it switch between 2 modes? I had these more when I lived in student accommodation. Today we have a separate washer and dryer because I'm American and spoiled. I don't know. But I do think there is something to be said for having separate machines, as the combo washer and dryer never actually seemed to dry the clothes as well as a fully dedicated dryer. But this video isn't about what's better. I'm just saying I had never seen or heard of a combo washer and dryer before moving to the UK, and now I have seen quite a lot of them. Next up is the British keyboard. I have an entire video on the differences between UK and US keyboards, so check that out if you're into nerdy stuff like that. But I hadn't even taken a second to think that keyboards might be different in different countries. So when I first used a British keyboard in the computer lab at my university in the UK, I was confused. I was confused by where some of the keys were, why I kept hitting the wrong ones, and I typed without looking, so it was messing me up for a long time before I finally figured out the UK keyboard layout.
Why is it
Next
different?
up
I thought it was a universal
is someone
thing.
putting on the parking brake, which also is like, is it called the emergency brake in some places?
It's weird. She didn't
Growing
use
up in Florida
the emergency
and
brake?
driving automatic cars, I swear to you, no one ever mentioned this brake to me.
What?
Did it exist?
How? What? She lived her whole life in Florida without using a handbrake?
No one ever talked about it.
People from Florida?
Never. Not one time. Not a single time.
You have to use the emergency brake every time you park.
My husband kept putting on this parking brake.
Car.
I was like, what are you doing? The car doesn't need your extra help.
It does.
To park.
No, you actually have to do it every time you park.
What are we doing? No, because you got to put the parking brake on in a lot of places in the UK.
Everywhere.
Which I now do religiously. But I had never given it a second thought.
That's weird to me, the fact that she never used a handbrake.
I hadn't given it any thought until I moved to the UK.
That's weird.
Next up is the electric kettle. People like to fight about kettles on the internet because it's horrifying to many British people that most Americans don't have one. But it's true. We do not really use
water
electric
in
kettles.
a pan, I think.
We either heat water in the microwave or in a pan on the stove. I had never preheated water before. Like, if I'm cooking pasta, for instance, in the UK, I'll boil the water in the kettle and then pour it in the pan to bring to a boil on the stove faster. Why did you just put it in the pot? This is not a thing in the US. You just fill the pot or pan with water and let it boil completely on the stove. I will say that electric kettles are obviously superior when it comes to the speed of boiling water in the UK.
Faster.
But the voltage in the US is lower, which means it cannot boil water as fast in the US. So it's not entirely surprising the US hasn't gotten on board the kettle train. I did know what a kettle looked like when living in the US. Probably. Maybe.
She had never seen a kettle
before. I had
before?
never actually seen one in person.
That's weird to me.
Next up is roast dinner flavored crisps,
seen a kettle before?
Or chips, as we would say in America. Every country has some weird version of crisp or chip flavors that like other people look at and think is disgusting. And for the UK, I'm not going to say it's disgusting at all. But I had never seen roast dinner flavored chips before.
It's weird.
I hadn't even heard of like what a roast dinner would be. And it kind of seemed like, how is this entire crisp flavored like multiple foods all at once? But I guess it works and people buy it. Comment below and let me know.
What do they taste like?
Roast dinner
what do they
flavored
taste
crisps? Next up is corn on pizza, or as the Brits would say, sweet corn on pizza. Pizza toppings are fascinating to me between countries, and we're actually going to do a whole deep dive between UK pizza and American pizza. Or should I say, deep dish dive. Get it?
Yeah.
Anyway,
a pizza joke.
I had never seen someone suggest that you can put corn on pizza before. But apparently you can. My husband loves it this way. It comes as an option in UK Pizza Hut.
And there is an option, I think.
I'm not gonna lie. I think it's weird. But then why is it more weird than having other toppings on a pizza? It's not. Yeah. I'm just not used to it, and it's something I hadn't seen before moving to the UK.
I don't think it's that weird because I've seen it before.
Next up is the British flush. Everyone loves talking about toilet flushes.
Oh, they have a little button on top.
That's why you're here. But did you know I had never seen this kind of toilet flush button until moving to the UK?
Yeah, I've seen those.
I had only seen ones like this in the US. And actually, when I was in the US a few months ago, I did see a button type one in an airport. So they could be catching on.
It's true. I think
but the first time I used a UK toilet in Heathrow Airport, I literally took a picture of the flush button because I was like, what in the world is this?
It's not just in the UK.
Next is a pull cord to turn on a light. It's a little bit old school, even in the UK. But when I first moved to the UK, there was a pull cord to turn on the light in the bathroom in my in-laws' house, and this was very strange to me. It has to do with regulations about electric connections in the bathroom in the UK, which is a whole other video. But I had for sure never seen a cord to turn on a light. I swear to you, I panicked every single time I turned it off or on because you had to pull it really hard to get it to work. And I was always afraid I was going to break it. And actually, at one point, the cord did snap and they had to tie it back together.
No, she broke it.
I've never had a pull cord to turn on a light in my own home in the UK, but this is definitely something I had never seen in the US. So, tell me. Do you have a pull cord to turn on the light in your bathroom?
In the US.
The next one is a sad one. And not because of the thing, but because I hadn't seen the thing. And the thing is a crumpet. I had never seen a crumpet before moving to the UK.
That's a food?
I definitely did not know what it looked like. Though I had heard of it as in tea and crumpets. But I could not have picked a crumpet out of like a baked goods line.
I don't know.
If that makes sense. For those who are not in the know, crumpets look like this, and they're basically the perfect vessel for butter after you toast them. And while I do not eat them often, when I do eat them, it is the best thing ever. Next is the blackcurrant flavor. So, did you know that blackcurrant flavor is not a thing in the US? Blackcurrant bushes were actually banned in 1911 in the US due to a fungus it carried called white pine blister rust that threatened the timber industry. Cannot have that. So most Americans today have never eaten a blackcurrant, whether like in any form.
Of course.
The actual
what do they taste
berry,
like? I'm guessing it tastes like blackberry.
This same fungus actually does happen in Europe. It's not exclusive to America, but Europe kept the black currants and got rid of the white pine tree, while America went the other way, which is pretty interesting.
They just like eliminated black currants.
And finally,
forever.
Rhubarb. Rhubarb is an interesting plant. Technically a vegetable, but often eaten as a fruit.
Yeah, rhubarb pod.
I don't entirely know what that means, but when I was researching rhubarb, a website said that, so we're gonna roll with it.
It's weird that she's never had rhubarb pod.
I had never heard of it.
And she's never heard of rhubarb pod?
I say I'm bringing you the most accurate information possible, and sometimes I'm like, I scanned this in Wikipedia in 2 seconds and added it into the video, restating it as fact. So this rhubarb segment, you guys, it's a little sketchy. Anyway,
whatever. It's just like
I
a
had
vegetable.
never seen or heard of rhubarb while living in the U.S.
Never heard of rhubarb. That's weird.
Research has had to be done.
No, that's weird.
Further investigation has revealed to me that possibly this was because I lived in the South, and the climate in the American South, it's not good for rhubarb.
Oh, okay.
So it's more popular in the northern states, but it's still a relatively unusual ingredient in many parts of America.
I don't think you can,
and not as often used as in the UK.
Now this
brings me
to
the end of this video. Which of my answers surprised you the most? I'd love to know. Comment below. And thank you so much for watching.
This was a really funny video. A lot of things shocked me actually, and not just like from a UK point of view, also from like herself like point of view. I can't believe that she'd never heard of a washing and dryer machine like on like this is like a wash and dryer machine. And I can't believe that she's never also like seen a kettle, and also like she never really knew about rhubarb. That's weird to me as well. Like just taking back the whole UK thing. And also the little like the toilet button. I would think that's kind of like a normal thing. I think more modern toilets I think have it. I think it's probably like if you're like in like old places, it's not normal, but I think it's more commonplace now for toilets to just have like the little button. They don't have like the little lever. But what did surprise me was the key, like the window key. Like, what do you mean you need a key to close or open a window in the UK? That's extremely weird to me. I get that it's probably just because it's a security thing, but I have so many questions. Do they have like one key, one like master key that opens like all of your house's windows, or you need like one separate key for each window? And like your keychain, like I'm gonna have like I'm gonna need like I don't know, like 1,000 keys to just like move around. That's extremely confusing and weird, and I have so many questions about this because it never would have occurred to me that like we're gonna use 1,000 keys to open or close windows. That's weird. But this is a really funny and very, very interesting video. And I hope you enjoyed it as well. And I'll see you soon. Bye.